truth is my everything. But we ain't Christian, we'll fall on your ass. Plus you know we keep the metal things. How you wanna settle things? I suppose you'll take the proposal, we'll make that metal ring. With the Glocks of the hecklers. We some righteous ass brothers, but some certified steppers. We some priests at the end of the day, so we teaching in the streets till the end of the day. We on the front line, we the ones that you want in the game. Fourth quarter when it's crunch time, and all my brothers is clutch. Squad full of
Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You in Virginia, you understand. Hampton Roads, Richmond, Petersburg, the whole state, you understand. You in Danville, you understand, Staunton, Midlothian, anywhere you are, if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you are God's chosen people. You should come into the ISUPK, learn your heritage, learn the solutions to all the problems that we have in our communities and amongst our people, you understand. But today we're going to get into a very important topic here, you understand, talking about the rebellion of Korah. Brotherhood, you following the wrong leaders, man. What does it mean to be in the truth? There's so many examples about following the wrong leaders and not obeying the prophet that the Lord has set up. You understand? The Lord has always appointed a man, one man, to be in charge of the entire nation. And everybody that loves the Lord, that obeys and serves God, has always been commanded to follow the orders and the instruction and the lead of that one man that God put in charge. There's not many leaders. There's not a council or multitude of leaders. There's one leader that the Lord has always put in charge of this nation. If you are an Black, Hispanic, or Native American, the problems we have amongst our people is that we have chosen our own leaders. We have refused to follow the leaders that the Lord has set up. The Lord has appointed Commanding General Yohana to be the head over the nation of Israel. All Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, everybody has an order. All camps are to come back to the original school so that we can fix our people. The problem is that our people are familiar and used to Christianity and not brotherhood, and not understanding the various things in the scriptures about how the Lord set our nation up. You understand? And this is love and this is brotherhood. If you are not in the ISUPK, you are not in the truth. You understand? You are not serving Christ. You are serving your own agenda and the man that you chose to follow and not the prophet that the Lord set up. We're going to get these in the scriptures, these examples today, the rebellion of Korah in Numbers, the 16th chapter, and how they felt that Moses was not the only one with the truth. The same way that many say to the ISUPK, y'all ain't the only one with the truth. Everybody is in the truth. We all in the truth. We're going to get into this, man. It doesn't seem like it is a big problem, but this is a life and death issue. Many things that our people think are very small are life and death issues, and nobody recognizes until our people, unfortunately, suffer greatly and end up losing their lives, man. Let's get into this. We're going to start at Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. The Lord is speaking and telling you how you're going to understand the leadership or the leader that the Lord is going to appoint over this nation. You understand? It says Deuteronomy 18 and 18. I will raise them up a prophet. Prophet is a man of the Lord, a man that speaks for God. It says a prophet from among their brethren. You understand? Like unto thee. This is Moses speaking, a prophet among your brethren, meaning he's going to be a brother, so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American. This is going to be a nigger to be raised up in power. You understand? One of your brothers. And if you are a brother and you love him, you would follow and support him and get in the order that the Lord is setting up. This is not a program that we have created. This is a program that comes from the Lord. If you take and put yourself outside of God's program that he appointed in the ISUPK, you put yourself outside of what the Lord has set up. You understand? And that's not brotherhood. That's not love. Those are words. Kind words that are being said, but we don't need kind words. Christ said, these people draw near unto me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters that are sincerely seeking to serve the Most High, and there's a lot of confusion. That's why we say these things, to clear up the confusion that only exists because other men have appointed themselves to be leaders of their own church and fake Israelite groups that cause our people great confusion. That's why the Lord is a man of war. And war is about conflict, arguments, battle, warfare. That's what it takes to show who the Lord is with. That is always how it has been done. That's why Christ told the disciples to fight the good fight of faith. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor. Proverbs 25:9. There must be fights, debates, battles, and warfare. Otherwise, you will follow a child molester like Polite and Dr. York and Elijah Muhammad for 20 years until the community is destroyed and our people end up strung out on drugs and our poor sisters and daughters and sons end up horribly damaged from being victimized by predators like Eddie Long and the popes and these preachers. You understand? You have to come into the body the Lord set up. And this is not for you to like or agree with what we're saying. This is because this is what the Lord has always been saying. All right, we're going to get to the scriptures. Like unto thee, a black man, Hispanic, Native American, just like you, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Because the Lord has given commandments on what to say. You understand? And it shall come to pass, meaning in the future, that whosoever will not hearken, meaning don't listen and obey unto the words which he, that one prophet, shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Meaning the Lord is going to chastise and punish our people for not obeying the prophet he set up. I'll tell you again, Commander General Yohana gave an order for all camps to come back to the original school. You understand? No matter how old you are, how much Hebrew, how much reading and history and you speak and all the traveling and stuff that you've done, you understand? That is not a measure of being in the truth and that the Lord is with you. Our people in the world accomplish great things. They do all kinds of things. They get money and wealth and fame and notoriety and all of that. That's not a measure of what it means to serve the Lord. That's not a measure of what it means to be in the truth or to be a man of God. You understand? Those things are highly esteemed in this world, in this society. But amongst the Lord wants things to be done in decency and in order. Let's get some more. Exodus chapter 4 and verse 12. This is the Lord talking to Moses. The Lord is speaking to Moses. This is before the children of Israel were delivered out of the land of Egypt. The Lord cursed and plagued and punished and gave the Egyptians hell by the words of the prophet he set up, which was Moses. You understand? Exodus 4 and 12. Now, therefore, go, and I will be with thy mouth and teach thee what thou shalt say. Meaning, I'm going to teach you what you shall say. The Lord is talking to Moses, and he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of whom thou wilt send. Moses didn't recognize the Lord was talking about him. He said, send whoever you're going to send. Lord, please send them. You know, I'm with it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, because Lord was angry because Moses had a speaking problem, a speech impediment. You got a problem reading, speaking, learning disabilities, all kinds of things. Don't sweat none of that, man. You come into ISUPK. We got brothers and sisters with all kinds of issues and everything. The nation and the strength of the nation is to protect and cover for the errors and the problems and the difficulties and disabilities that the rest of our people have. All of the nations, all the Chinese, the Arabs, East Indians, they got hella problems in their communities, but it doesn't end up going to 5 o'clock news or Fox 5 or NBC or CBS because their communities are separate. Their leader is intact. Their communities are separate. They have their own culture, and that dominates their community because they have brotherhood with their own people. The Taliban rule Afghanistan right now because they were not willing to betray the values that Muhammad laid down and make some Christianized Islam, which is about kidnapping and torturing and all of these other horrible things that people try to make it seem like Islam is not about. That is exactly how Muhammad and his followers spread Islam. They are staying true to the culture of their forefathers. That's Sharia law, and they did not compromise. And because of it, America and the presidents in America had to respect the Taliban and do business and deal with them. Now, we don't advocate for them, but they are not willing to turn from the culture of their forefathers. Our people are trying to get back to the culture of our forefathers, and our culture has always been God appoints one leader, everybody is appointed to obey him and the order that he sets up that he is getting from God. Let's get more. Exodus You understand? 4 and 14. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And will he seeth thee? And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. Meaning your brother going to be glad. Brotherhood is how this is going to get done. You cannot have brother. Now, suppose Moses went and talked to Aaron, and Aaron said, yeah, I'm going to take what you taught me, but I'm going to go start my own thing in Egypt. I'm going to go set up my own Israelite group. We're not going to follow you, Moses. I'm going to go do my own thing based on what I heard when you told me this, that the Lord told you. I'm going to take that and go start my own thing, Moses. I'm not going to follow you. That's not brotherhood. And that is what brothers have done in creating these other groups and these church groups. A lot of the things that you hear in preachers, and they trying to wear the shield of David now, and Farrakhan and all the Muslims that changed everything that they've been saying since the 60s to line up better with what's being said in the truth, because they refuse to just humble themselves and come into the one body because they want to be in charge. They have their own leadership, their own plans and agendas, and it is hurting this nation. You understand? It is causing our people to die when our people should have massively turned back to serve the Lord if you did not make a church group to further confuse them so that they will follow you instead of the prophet that the Lord put words in his mouth, which is Commanding General Yohanan. Verse 15, you understand? And thou shalt speak unto him and put words in his mouth, meaning you are going to speak to him. The Lord gave Moses instructions. You are going to put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, meaning I'm going to be with you because you are going to repeat what I say to you, and with his mouth, because he repeats what you say to him, I will be with him now, because you are repeating what I told you, and then they are repeating what you told them, because this is the order that the Lord has always set up for our nation. And will teach you what ye shall do, meaning I'm going to teach you what you're supposed to do. The Lord gives the instructions. Then the Lord gives the instructions. The prophet the Lord set up teaches the rest of the nation and puts things in order all the way down. Verse 16, and he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, meaning the people are going to hear, the masses are going to hear what's being said because of the men that follow and repeat the orders that the Lord gave to the one prophet that he set up, like in Deuteronomy 18. And he shall be to thee instead of a mouth. Instead of your one mouth, the prophet, the other brother that follows and obeys what you say and repeats what I taught you, that's coming from the Lord. Because he obeys you, I will be with him and with his mouth. And instead of your one mouth, now my words will be spread through the mouth of the men that obey you. And he shall be unto thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God. A ton of Christians and Christian Israelites, you understand, you thinking that the Lord is talking and dealing with you directly. That's the same Christian personal salvation, personal relationship with Jesus concept that everybody in church believes. You understand? And you're teaching our people that thinking that that's what it means to be in the truth, and you are hurting our people. You are stopping this nation from coming together. You understand? And it's evil, and it's wicked, and it's unbrotherly, and it's hateful. You understand? And it is satanic for you to appoint yourself to be your own leader over the nation when the Lord has already appointed a leader. No different than you voting for president. The Lord set up one prophet to rule the nation. It has always been that way. And by you choosing to follow whoever you like best, the same way as the preachers and the mosque and the Rastas and the Buddhists, it is no different than any other thing. You understand? That is against the Most High. Now we're going to get to Numbers, the 16th chapter and verse 1. It says here, now Korah, this is the rebellion of Korah and his sons. You understand? And the brothers that rode with him that felt that they did not have to obey Moses, that God was with everybody and everybody was equal, and we all love and serve God our own way, and I don't follow no man, the same things that you say, and all of this nonsense, when this is how our culture has always been in the scriptures. Numbers 16 and 1. Now Korah and the sons of Izhar, the sons of Kohath, the sons of Levi, and of Dathan and of Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, and the son of Peleth, the sons of Reuben, took men, meaning they gathered themselves a council. They found leadership that they liked, that said the things that they did, they wanted to do. Verse 2, and they rose up before Moses with the curtain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly. They gathered their own Israelite congregation, separate from what the Lord set up with Moses. They making their own church groups. They making their own groups, appointing their own leaders. You understand? We're going to do our own thing and set up our own groups and our own churches with our own leaders and our own doctrine. You understand? This is exactly what we have in our nation today, and it is against the Lord, and this is how the Lord dealt with it in this day. 250 princes of the assembly. They didn't have brotherhood. They didn't honor Moses for the work that Moses did in obeying the Lord and the hell going through battling back and forth with Pharaoh to deliver the children of Israel out of Egypt. We were in slavery and bondage in the ghetto and starving up underneath of the Egyptians. Now we are free people in our own nation in the wilderness with manna and bread and chicken, you understand, and quail, you understand, coming down from heaven, that the Lord is providing for us and covering us underneath of the chariot by day and by night. They didn't honor Moses's work. They gave lip service saying that they honored Moses, but they didn't honor Moses. If they did, they would have obeyed him as the Lord commanded. But the Lord dealt with it. You understand? Famous in the congregation, men of renown. They got a name. They known amongst Israel. Men of renown would have been great assets to the nation had they been in proper order. We could fix our people, you understand, and take over entire cities, which we gonna do anyway through the Spirit of the Lord, because that's God's mission. You understand? That's the order that Christ gave. You understand? To subdue, occupy till I return. You understand? Men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. The Lord set up Moses and Aaron, but they gathered against them and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy. We all got the truth. Y'all not the only ones with the truth. God is with all of us. God is here and there and all of these other groups. You understand? Seeing that the whole congregation is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is amongst them. See, God is with us all. God ain't just with y'all in the UPK. God is with us all. He with everybody. He with all of us. We all serving him in our own way. Wherefore then lift ye yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. They act like God didn't appoint Moses and Aaron to be the leader of the congregation. You act like the Lord didn't set Commander Juliana up. Act like the Lord had not set up Peter and set up the order amongst the disciples. The Lord has always done this and is stealing from this nation to trick and confuse our people to where they're not sure which way to go, because you done made some church group. You done appointed yourself some Christian leader, some Christian pastor, some church group, some mosque, some imam, anything. No one is supposed to appoint themselves leaders over the children of Israel. The leader that God appointed is always this one prophet and the men that he set up, supposed to be in charge of everything, all the cities and everything. The Chinese don't have mayors and governors and aldermen and councilmen. The Arabs, East Indians, and Africans is not running for political and public office, and their communities function fine. They ain't millions piled up in the jail. They ain't in the streets shooting and killing and murdering each other, strung out on dope, all on TV. They women making whores out of themselves, committing 500,000 abortions a year, strung out on dope, embarrassing themselves, families destroyed, all in child support and juvenile and domestic court and divorce court, full of AIDS and cancer and STDs and all kind of suffering and impoverished communities. That's because our people choose political leaders instead of the leaders that God appointed. Does that mean you have no skills? No. Does that mean that you can't do anything? No. Our people have tons of skill, but putting things in the proper order and having the Lord's protection and covering and rebuilding this nation the way that a nation functions. You understand? That is what will bring safety and protection to our people. That's what our people don't understand. Verse 4, Numbers chapter 16 and 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face and spake unto Korah and all of the company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy. Meaning, since everybody think they got the truth, the Lord is going to show tomorrow. This is what Moses said. Even him whom he have chosen will he cause to come near unto them. Moses is saying, all right, let's do a test to see who the Lord is with. Verse 6, this do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Meaning you doing things you have no business doing, ye sons of Levi. Moses is checking them and saying, listen, since y'all think the Lord is with y'all, okay, go on and take you census. We're going to put it to the test tomorrow. You understand? And verse 8, and Moses said unto Korah, hear, I pray ye, sons of Levi, meaning I pray you understand. And our people don't understand, and they didn't understand. Seeming it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel, meaning the Lord has separated you to bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord. The Lord has called you to be a priest and a prophet of the Lord, to understand the truth, to understand that Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, say Israelites, the Lord has called you and allowed you to be able to understand these things. You understand? He's saying the Lord chose you to do the duty of the temple and stand before the congregation to minister unto them, meaning this is a great task the Lord has appointed you to do. Don't take it as a light thing, but don't now think because the Lord had called you and you able to understand tiny things about what it means to be an Israelite and be in the truth. Don't think now that you're supposed to just go off and do your own thing and follow whoever you so choose. That's what they thought in this day. And he brought, verse 10, and he brought them near to him and all the brethren of the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye also the priesthood, seek ye the priesthood also, for which cause both thou and all thy company. This is a military regiment, a company. There's 250 brothers rising up against Moses. What you think they rising up against Moses for? So they can agree to disagree? So that they can take the authority and the power that the Lord appointed to Moses so that they can give it to themselves, man. And that's what we have. We've always had that, and it led to wars and lots of our people dying. King David had years and years of wars against the house of Saul to bring all 12 tribes together under the one leader that the Lord set up. You understand? It says in verse 11, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that thou shalt murmur against him? Meaning you talking evil against Aaron. Like the Lord didn't appoint Aaron. Like they thought they were coming up against Moses because they did not respect Moses. They didn't have brotherhood and honor with Moses. They hated Moses. You understand? If they loved and honored and respect Moses the way that their mouth said, they would have followed and obeyed Moses. That's what love is. Love is not your words. Love is your actions. You understand? We have true love in here in the ISUPK. We don't allow heathens. We don't allow Hamites to kidnap and murder sisters. Brothers is not allowed to scam and call themselves the Holy Spirit, you understand, and rob brothers, forcing them to pay hundreds of dollars in order to stand with them, charging brothers weekly fees, selling the truth like you selling a college education, charging and extorting brothers that want to come and learn against the Lord. All of your members and your former members come and tell all the evil, wicked things that you do and tell them to do. Telling sisters that they should leave their man when she got 5 kids by this brother and they've been together 10 years, but she don't have a ring and a piece of paper. So you going to tell this sister to leave her husband. That's the evil things that go on, man. That happens in these church groups that you thinking is in the truth, man. That's what's happening to our people. Sisters getting killed, brothers getting robbed, all kind of dirty, underhanded things, telling brothers to go into the military and get dreadlocks and getting high and teaching that it's okay to rape and that it's okay to do all kind of wicked things, telling a man he can't have more than one woman, brothers getting high, robbing each other, spending their money on Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce, bringing white people into the Passover. You understand? All of these things and doctrines that was never in the Bible, that was never taught at One West, that they never learned from the original school, that they changed everything to make their own church groups to get themselves power. And then brothers eventually left them and go off to go start their own thing. It's the same thing with the Christian church, with the Mars, with the Panthers, end up all of these different things, man. It is not the program that the Lord set up. You understand? This is what they did to Moses. But here's the thing, the Lord answered them. The Lord hadn't answered yet. You understand? The Lord is showing, but our people is not waking up. I pray just like Moses was praying, that ye sons of Korah rebelling against the prophet the Lord set up. I pray ye wake up and understand. You understand? And come in the proper order that the Lord appointed. This is exactly what I'm saying to you, is what Moses was saying to them. But the Lord answered, and he put an end to the matter. It says there, they didn't believe that they were rising up against Moses. They thought they was just coming against Moses. They didn't think that they was rising up against the Lord, because they didn't think that Moses really represented the Lord. They thought they all were equal in representing the Lord. And that's that Christian equality concept. And here is what's going to happen. Verse 12, and Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram and the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up. They said, I don't give a damn what Moses said. I don't care what Moses said. You calling us up like you in charge. Commander General Yohana gave an order from the Lord that all camps are to return to the original school, just like Moses gave an order from the Lord that the sons of Dathan and Korah come on up and let's settle this matter before the Lord. They gave an order. They didn't respect Moses. You understand? Let's get some more. Right. So they told Moses, we not coming up. Verse 13, it says, is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except that thou make thyself altogether prince over us? They said, Moses, you appointed yourself a leader. You took us out of the land and made yourself a leader. We was in Egypt living good. You understand? You brought this hardship on us, got us out here in the wilderness with the fiery serpents, getting bit by poisonous snakes. You understand? Out here wandering in the wilderness. We was in Egypt having a good life. You understand? It says, verse 14, moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. When thou put out the eyes of these men, we will not come up. They said, Moses, you told us we was going to get the land of milk and honey and all of this. What they didn't realize, we're going to get the nation and the kingdom together. What they didn't realize is that the Lord was not bringing us. We wasn't making it into that land of milk and honey, because the spirit that was on our people was still the spirit that we had in Egypt. We wasn't turning right and being correct with the Lord. The Lord killed that whole generation off in the wilderness. You understand? The journey wasn't that long. The people were not ready to inherit the land, because that spirit on them, that spirit didn't just come about. They always hated Moses. From the days that Moses went to go tell Pharaoh, let my people go, Pharaoh said, y'all are idle. You got too much free time. Now you're going to make brick without straw. They said, you made us look bad in front of Pharaoh. You caused us to stink in the sight of these Egyptians, because you out here advocating for these poor brothers and sisters in the ghetto that's destroyed, talking about you want to go serve the Lord. Damn that, we got a good thing going in Egypt. They didn't care about how their people was suffering under the oppression of the Egyptians, because they was doing all right. You understand? They weren't about the nation of Israel. They were about themselves. You understand? And that's that personal relationship with Jesus. We all find our own leaders. That's the same spirit with voting. That's the spirit they got Christ killed. That was the spirit, you understand, that put Jezebel in charge. That's all of these evil spirits that the Lord, these are things that have to be combated so that the nation can be a nation. You understand? All the miracles that the Lord did by the hand of Moses, they get in the wilderness and say, damn all of that and damn Moses. You set yourself up. Like the Lord did not give Moses the power to do this. And it was evil. You understand? And it said, verse 15, and Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not thou thy offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. Meaning I didn't do anything to you. I didn't hurt you, brothers. I didn't lie, steal, or cheat on you, brothers. I didn't do anything to harm you, brothers. And now they here rising up against me like this, man. You understand? And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. He said, we're going to settle this tomorrow. You understand? And Moses, we're going to skip down, gave them instructions to stand at the congregation of the door. They brought all of this in. You understand? And they brought theirs, and the Lord brought his. You can read it on your own time. We're going to skip down in verse 20. It says, the Lord showed up to settle the matter. Verse 19 says, and Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, meaning they didn't know what the Lord was going to do. Korah and the men are thinking God is with everybody. They didn't know what the Lord was going to do. The Lord ain't told them nothing. The Lord spoke to Aaron and Moses. Separate yourselves from amongst this congregation that I may consume them in a moment. The Lord said, I'm going to kill all of them. That's what the Lord said, man. And they fell upon their faces and said, oh God, oh power, the power of the spirits of all flesh. Shall one man sin, and will thou be wroth with the whole congregation? Please don't do this. These brothers is in their ignorance. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand. Please don't do this, Lord. This is the spirit of a true man of the Lord. This is the spirit that Christ said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. This is the true man of the Lord. This is what Moses and Aaron is saying, because they knew that the Lord was going to deal with this. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Tell the congregation of Israel, get the hell away from them. Get away from them. You understand? Tell them, get away from them. Don't stand with them. And a ton of brothers is standing with people that did not realize the evil that came with all of these groups that you were part of. You don't understand the evil and the history behind this and all of the evil that goes along with it. They thought that Islam was something for black people until we got all the cocaine and heroin and murdering while our communities is filled with Islam. And now we trying to get brothers, we trying to repair the damage that's been done after we became Christians, after we became Muslims, after we became Rastas, after we became Democrats and Republicans and Americans, and took on being a gangster and a drug dealer and all of these cultures that the Lord told us not to do. You never going to learn the full culture of being an Israelite outside the ISUPK. Sex has always been marriage according to God. You understand? A man has always been able to have more than one wife. You could never get rid of your woman except she have sex with another man. A woman never was supposed to choose what man she married. You could never have sex with some baby and call it a marriage. You could never rape a man, woman, or child and it be lawful. You could never have sex with another nation of people and it be lawful. You could never have dreadlocks and shape-ups and it be lawful. You could never have sex with another brother's woman and it be lawful. You can never go and take the tithe money of the Lord and give it to whoever you see fit because you don't like who the Lord put in charge the way that they coming up against Moses, and it be lawful. The tithes was always supposed to go to one place, the one same order that the Lord set up by Moses, the priesthood that was throughout all our lands. That same order set up by the prophet of the Lord. You understand, the ISUPK. Y'all creating all kind of different things and further teaching things that was never our culture. It was never our culture to have 100 goddamn groups and all of this nonsense and all of these different beliefs and doctrines and philosophies. It was never our culture. You understand? That's why the Lord kept sending the prophets out to correct the things that we took on cultures following wicked men, confused men that didn't realize they was coming up against the Lord until the Lord fell on them. And by that time, it was too late, man. But the men and the prophets of the Lord is pleading with the people saying, get away from them, get out of these groups, get out of these churches, come back to the original school, come back and serve the Lord. They didn't understand that. We're going to get some more, and then we're going to wrap it up. It says, Numbers 16 and 24. You understand? 25. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan, and Abiram and the elders of Israel followed him. They following Moses, and he spake unto the congregation. This is what the Lord wants. The Lord don't want our brothers and sisters to die or lose their life for coming up against the prophets he set up. But this is how Israel learns. The Lord is a man of war. Things are done by conflict. You understand? This is conflict that the Lord wanted to show that he was not with these other cats and that he was with Moses and Aaron, that he set up by his authority, not something they created, man. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah and Dathan and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their children and their little ones. You understand? Moses said, hereby ye know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own hand. He's saying the Lord sent me. Will you brothers hear me? Hear what I'm saying? The Lord sent me. He pleaded with the nation because the Lord is getting ready to wipe them out. They did not understand. But the prophet the Lord set up understood and full well knew what was going to happen. These men, he said, if these men die the common death of all men, I mean, if they die any other normal way, you know, they die of you understand, they die of old age, they get old and they die, or they have an accident or something and they die, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord have not sent me. If they die some regular death because they want to come up against the Lord, then the Lord didn't send me. Y'all can forget it, pack it up, and go home. The Lord ain't sent me. You know, I'm doing this on my own. But we're going to put it to the test to know that the Lord has sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, but all that appertain to them, everything that pertained to them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. You understand? Nobody hearing or heeding the word of the Lord. Nobody wanted to listen to Noah, that you provoking the Lord and repent, until the Lord sent the flood waters and everybody died. Now it's certified that the Lord sent Noah. You understand? Nobody wanted to hear Moses when Moses went to Pharaoh. They said, who the hell are you? We got magic here. We got power here in Egypt. The Lord killed the firstborn of the Egyptians. Now they realize that the Lord sent Moses. You understand? And it's always been like that. Nobody wanted to hear that the Lord sent Mattathias until they decided to go some other way. And now they in the wilderness and get killed 2,000 at a time because they refuse to follow Mattathias, because they are the sons that never wanted to obey the prophets that the Lord set up. And they thought it didn't matter, and they could go and be and have their own feelings and do their own thing with their own leaders, their own way. And they died. Them, their children, their wives, and their families, they died. We're going to cover that story too. You understand? They provoked the Lord. Verse 31, and it came to pass as he made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained to Korah, and all their goods, and all that appertained to him went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed them up, closed upon them. Meaning, imagine them. And they perished from amongst the congregation of Israel. The prophet of the Lord was pleading for their lives. They didn't respect him as a prophet of the Lord. They didn't honor who the Lord set up. That's why the Lord said it will be required of them if they don't obey the prophet. It has not gotten to that point yet, but our brothers and sisters is dying all the time. We constantly dying. And the prophets that the Lord set up are all in one house, one body, under Commander General Yohana, pleading with our people to turn back and obey the Lord and get out of these churches and these mosques and all of these groups and church groups that you in, and come back so we can be a nation and so that you can be under the protection of the Lord. You understand? And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. All the crying and screaming is they in the earth, and the earth is closing up. their wives and children and babies. There's 250 brothers that came up against them. These brothers got family, got wives, got children, sons, daughters. This is our people that's dying because the Lord passed his judgment, man. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. And they said, let the earth swallow us up also. They said, lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. I mean, it was 250 men that offered incense to the Lord. He killed Korah, their families, and the 250 men that stood with them. Everybody that was tied to them, the Lord killed them, man, because they rose up against Moses. They rose up against who the Lord put in charge, man. And the Lord spake unto Moses, speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hollow. He said, go back and get my censers because they belong to me. That's what the Lord said. And the censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar. You understand? And that's the end of that, man. These brothers died because they didn't want to obey the prophet the Lord set up. The prophet was pleading and pleading for the Lord not to take their lives because they actually loved Israel. These brothers, Korah and Abiram and Dathan, they didn't give a damn that the Lord was going to kill these 250 men for rising up against Moses. They didn't give a damn about them, their families, their wives, anything. So if they did, they would have obeyed the prophet that the Lord set up. And we pleaded the same way that the Lord gave the order, that Commander General Yohana gave that order, out of love and brotherhood in the spirits that the prophets actually set up. All camps are ordered to come back to the original school. All Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans leave whatever church, group, mosque, religion, anything that you are in, and come back to the original school so that we can build this nation and have proper order and brotherhood the way that the Lord set up. And with that, shalom.
Give me Exodus 4:22. And how in the hell did you try to take this Bible and use it for everybody? You stupid as hell. You dumb as hell. This Bible is what's going to condemn you. Because this is the book of the Israelites. You should have destroyed this book, you dumb so-called white people. Instead of going around and trying to use the Bible is the book that's going to destroy your world.
Excuse me, everyone, I have a brief announcement to make. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Thank you for your time, and good night.
Shalom, Ak. Shalom, Ak. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabbarakathah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabbarakathum. Khan.